Hello, Bucks fans, and welcome into the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel Facebook Live. I'm Kassidy, joined by Jim here today. It is Tuesday before Game 2 in this Round 1 series of the NBA playoffs. Let's look to Game 2, starting with what you have seen so far. I know you were at practice yesterday, watching a little bit of the Bucks and talking to coaches and players. What did they have to say? How did they what's the vibe, I guess you could say, in Milwaukee right now heading into Game 2 against the Bulls?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny. Head coach Mike Budenholzer said that, there was a thought of practicing or not practicing. He's like, it was kind of split. Obviously, they elected to practice. The Bulls actually practiced as well yesterday, Cassie. They drove back to Chicago, actually, following Game 1 to practice at home. And after what we just said about kind of how ugly that game was, it kind of makes sense. They wanted to get some work in. And while we don't get to see, it's like the Packers. We don't actually get to see practice. We just catch the end where they're sort of having their post-practice shooting games, free throws, three-pointers. And while Giannis Antetokounmpo smiled and gave sort of the PC answer when he was asked about his 6 for 11 free throw shooting in Game 1, he stayed after and got some work in at the free throw line around the half dozen or so baskets in the Bucks facility. So, look, I think when you have one of the top scoring teams in the league, in the Bucks, to play that poorly offensively, 21 turnovers, many of which Mike Budenholzer admitted in the practice were sort of head-scratching. I mean, the practice makes sense, but it also feels like those guys are going to have a little bit more awareness. Is that the right word? I mean, Chris Middleton he didn't speak after the game. He had 7 turnovers. He did talk after practice and said, look, a lot of those were just bad decisions on his part. So I would expect him and Drew Holiday to maybe be a little more careful with the ball heading into Game 2.